Hi, welcome to this installment of Lessons with Laura. My name is Laura Ingalls Gunn. If you're new here, the Lessons with Laura series was started a few years ago, and there is a playlist of the videos that can be found on this YouTube channel, as well as numerous articles that I've written over the years on my website. And I will link to both of those sources down below in the description box. Now for today's video, I wanted to create a birthday party for Laura set in the 1930s. The 1930s, you might be asking, why is that? Well, Laura started writing her very first book, Little House in the Big Woods, because it was the Depression, and she was very fearful that she and Almanzo were going to lose their farm, which is located in Mansfield, Missouri. And you can still see the farm and visit it today. And her daughter Rose was a very successful author and reporter. She was the one who encouraged her mother to create a children's book describing the pioneering family life of Laura's family, her mother and father, and of her sisters. And she was only going to write one book. But when Little House in the Big Woods was published, it became a success. And even though, families were facing tremendously hard times, children and adults alike loved the book, which was full of love and perseverance and helping your neighbor, which I think was something people really needed during that difficult time period in our country. And children and adults alike wrote by the thousands to ask Laura for more stories. I think for many people, when they think about Laura Ingalls Wilder, they picture her living in the 1870s and 1880s as a pioneer girl on the frontier. And that is probably because the books are set in that time period. But I started thinking about what Laura might have been wearing in the 1830s when she was writing the Little House books. What might her dinner table have looked like for a celebratory birthday feast? And what foods might she have had on her table? Because, of course, very much like today, food was a precious commodity. And so in thinking about that, I went through my stack of vintage and antique women's magazines. This was one that I recently received from my friend Jeannie. And it's showing a woman what she perhaps would have been wearing in her kitchen. And one of the articles in the magazine, it talks about the needlework that women were doing. Another article that I was reading about was special gifts that you could give to loved ones on celebratory occasions. And one of the gifts mentioned was hothouse flowers. Now, Laura was born on February 7th, so deep in winter. Perhaps Rose maybe would have sent her flowers that were grown in a hothouse sent by a florist. That would have been a very special and expensive gift because, of course, during the winter, flowers would not be in bloom in a garden, and flowers in a market weren't readily available as we have them today. Supermarkets that we know today didn't really come into fashion until the 1950s and the 1960s, and having a floral department really is a new novelty that has been within the last 20 years. So definitely hothouse flowers would have been a very special birthday gift to send to Laura. And I started thinking about what might Laura have been wearing. So I perused the magazine, and it was fun to look at some of the fashions that they were worn. If you have seen another video that I did last year, I created a garment from authentic feed sacks, and that was absolutely something that wives that lived on farms would have done. And so this is a vintage reproduction feed sack print, and I used a historical 1930s pattern to create that dress. And I'll have more information about the dress and the pattern that I used on the accompanying website post that is also up today on Decor to Adore, if you're interested in hearing about that. So I wanted to plan a birthday menu that would have been a little bit special, but that would have been readily available to Laura in the Depression area on her farm. So I settled on cornbread, which was a favorite of the Ingalls family, served with beans, and for dessert, an apple crisp, because of course Laura and Almanzo had an apple orchard. And so other than a traditional cake, which maybe she would not have had access to some of the ingredients in particularly the Depression era, but also in February. So apples would have been picked in the fall and stored away in the cellars. So she probably still would have had some apples available to her in February. And so in the next segment, I'm going to read from Little House on the Prairie, talking about cornbread. I am reading from chapter 11. It is page 142 in my vintage edition. "Now we must get dinner," she said. "Pa will be here soon, and we must have dinner ready for him. Mary, bring me some wood. Laura, you may set the table." Ma rolled up her sleeves and washed her hands and mixed cornbread, while Mary brought the wood and Laura set the table. She set a tin plate and a knife and fork and a cup for Pa, and the same for Ma, with Carrie's little tin cup besides Ma's. And she set tin plates and knives and forks for her and Mary, but only their one cup between the plates. Ma made the cornmeal and water into 2 thin loaves, each shaped in a half circle. She laid the loaves with their straight sides together in the bake oven, and she pressed her hand flat on top of each loaf. Pa always said he did not ask any other sweetening when Ma put the prints of her hands on the loaves. So I wanted to make some cornbread and beans to go with it for my family for a weekend dinner. We normally get together on a Saturday or Sunday to eat dinner as a family. My son is away, 40 minutes away at college, and my daughter lives about 20 minutes away. So it's nice to reconnect face to face together with my kids on the weekends. And so let's head into the kitchen next and create a meal that Laura may have enjoyed when celebrating her birthday in the 1930s. And this, Laura, will also set the table. I hope you have enjoyed this installment of Lessons for Laura. I will be back soon with another lesson. If you'd like to be notified, just hit the small white subscribe button that is in the lower corner. And I thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.